pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna remind everybody to shut their cell phones off, because I haven't shut mine off.
I thought I did.
Alrighty. Okay, it's 8:30. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make the motion.
I have a first.
Second.
Second by Carl. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Approve the minutes from March 20th.
I didn't see any when I read them earlier, so I'll make a motion.
Second.
Yeah, first and second by Eric. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, general public concerns. Looks like we're short on those today. Seeing none, we'll move right in. Boy, we got to 8:55 now, we'll have drainage then. Okay, we'll go down, we'll do claims to start with.
Mr. Chairman, I reviewed the claims. It looks like $99,344.99 for general claims and $26,009.26 for drainage. I move approval thereof.
I was second, and I got the right number.
Good for you.
I'm getting better.
All in favor of claims?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, we have approval of 2017 seasonal conservationist help with effective dates of hire to be determined as follows. We got Rhonda Vincent, Gotch Park camp host for $250 a week. I imagine they're listed, we'll do each one separately? Or should we do them?
No, you can do
them all together? Okay. Got Ron Ekman, Sheldon camp host at $260 per week. Monty, how do you pronounce that name? Coos. Park maintenance, $17 an hour, and Jay Nelson, park maintenance, $15 an hour. Todd was in earlier this morning, visited with him. I think it's, seems like maybe we got one new one out at Gotch Park. I don't remember them doing it last year, but.
She camps out there all the time.
Yeah, I don't think she's been the camp host
No.
before.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I have a first, can I get a second?
I'll second that motion.
Second by Eric, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, the first reading of Humboldt County Ordinance number 39, amended the rural addressing ordinance.
Is that all the same except for the $30?
No, this is the
No, this
rural
is-
addressing.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I
this is
looked the wrong one. Okay.
Rick was present at the 911 meeting where they addressed amending the ordinance, a few
Okay.
major things. So this has been approved by the 911 board and then brought here for formal approval and then publication and recording in the recorder's office. So it has to have the required 3 readings. This is the first reading of that ordinance. I guess I didn't bring the copy in with me that shows the changes.
Yeah, that was minor wording changes.
Okay, yeah.
So,
And if anybody in the audience needs to see a copy, I can get you a copy of it.
I move we approve the reading of ordinance 39 as amended and move to waive the possible second and third readings.
That has to be a second motion.
Okay.
okay,
So you can do the first
I'll
one.
do the first one. I move we approve the reading of ordinance 29.
okay.
Second.
I got a second by Dave, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we'll move on to possible waiver of the second and third readings of ordinance 39.
Well, as long as everything was
Yeah, it was
up
just
to
minor
snuff, and it
wording
was minor
change.
snuff, changes, I'd make a motion to waive the second and the third reading on that same ordinance.
I'll second that motion.
Second by Eric, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
39's been on our books for a few years.
Right.
So it was just a matter of changing a few things in there.
Good.
Okay, we'll move down to authorize chairman to sign the financial assurance documents for the Humboldt County Sanitary Landfill Committee reports.
Every year, we're required to file some documents with the landfill, or with the DNR, which shows our financial status as far as the landfill goes. We have to include our engineer's cost estimate, CFO letter and financial test, our local government guarantee from way back when we first started, financial assurance report form, a certified copy of our financial statement, and a copy of our audit. All that gets mailed in after we have Rick sign it. So it's pretty much a routine forms. The numbers change from year to year as far as, you know, what we have to do. This is what we have to fill out as far as the financial part. We take it straight out of our audit report, and they're not quite done with our audit report, but they promised they would have me a copy in time to send in with this. But I was able to get the numbers anyway that I needed to prepare that form with. So every year when I update it, I moved the 2 years ago up to the, out of it, and the 1 year back, and then put the new numbers in, so.
How many years we got a monitor that left?
Do you
30
remember,
years
Rick?
when we closed it.
Yeah, it's not too many more, but they keep changing the darn rules, is what they do. And, what's that, Paul?
It should be 30-year post-closure period. That financial responsibility is part of your post-closure documents. As opposed to a bond, the county was able to prove financial responsibility. Otherwise, you'd be having to post a bond yearly on it.
Yeah, I understand that. I was on that committee way back. I don't
That's
remember
right.
what year we closed it. I knew we had 30 years to monitor.
Well, we're running down the home stretch. Seems like we're 7 or 8 left, wasn't it?
Yeah.
90,
It was done before I came on. That was 11 years ago.
91 or 3, remember?
I can't remember. That's why I asked how many years, because it's, should be coming close to being up.
You've had some hits recently that may jeopardize that otherwise.
Yeah, we had some,
Yeah.
one water sample that was a little high this last year, and,
Speaking of water, did we get that moved?
yeah. They pumped it out and hauled it to Renwick, and I just got the bill today, actually.
How many did they end up hauling?
We hauled, the max
The Renwick?
that we are allowed to haul, and they got it down there pretty reasonable.
Okay, you stand up.
I'm here. I move the authorize the chairman to sign the financial assurance for the Humboldt landfill.
I would second that motion.
I have a first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
No, your signature's on all that.
Okay.
Copy.
Alrighty, let's do our committee reports.
Do you have time for Paul, or?
Or do we have time to go through, we got 8:55 for DD 4. We got plenty of time?
Just for driving.
Alrighty. Paul, why don't you come up?
Just 2 orders of business today. I'm gonna move this so I can slide in here. First order of business is, working the right-of-way permit, for Midland Power, for underground primary electrical cable at 3105 210th Street. They're proposing to take overhead to underground. We have marked, and I've talked to, Todd with, Midland. We've added a couple notes. The poles were moved in because of guy wires, moved in from the right-of-way toward the road. And once the guy wires are gone because of the overhead power, they can move the poles back. So they're gonna move the poles back to where they should be, to the back. And we recommend its approval based on that.
I would make a motion.
I'll second that.
Okay, I got first from Bruce, second by Dave, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we'll move on to approve Humboldt County Engineers Contract and Agreement for fiscal year 2018. I think Paul gave everybody a copy of his contract out at our work session last Monday, late morning, so everybody had a chance to look that over. So, can I get a motion for approval of the Humboldt County Engineers Contract?
I make a motion we table this at the present time to further discussion on it.
Okay, I have a motion to table it.
second the motion.
Any, got a second from Bruce, any discussion on the matter?
If we're gonna table it, maybe we should have a session and discuss it a little bit, rather than act one way or the other real fast.
I think that's what we need to do. We need to sit down with Paul and talk about possible changes that we're looking at, and get his input.
Are you doing it before your drainage, or what?
Oh, today?
Yeah.
No. I think we'll do this at Paul's convenience. Whether he wants it when, we could do it at the work session if he'd prefer, or what Paul would like to do.
Discussing personnel, you have to, it's open session unless Paul wants it to be closed
That's
session.
right.
And we can
So
do it
we'll
work
give him a
session.
chance to visit, think about it a little bit and talk to us, and we'll go from there.
I think it'd be fair, I think we should do that.
Okay. We'll table this until a later date then.
Very good. We need to vote on that?
Uh,
First and second, we need to vote.
Yeah, we do have a vote to table it then. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries to table it till a later date. Very good. We'll visit with you later today, Paul?
No, not on that either.
No, just
Very
to
good.
see what you want to do.
Are we still on for out there, right?
Yeah, we'll be out there. Okay, well, now we can go down to the committee reports.
Okay, I'm starting, I guess, Monday after the marathon meetings here, we had secondary roads, we all were out there for the 5-year plan. Thursday, I got to go down on the 23rd, I had my CFR meeting. I also get the opportunity to be on the executive committee for the financing, trying to line things up for that building project that's getting ready to kick off, and we are doing I'll go over that later. So I'll just go with that. That was all I had.
Was that in Fort Dodge? or-
Yes, excuse me. No, excuse me, the Webster City was
Webster City?
CFR, yeah.
Okay, Peggy, I too attended a Monday meeting with the rest of the gang out the work station at County Shed. On Wednesday, I left here about 7 o'clock in the morning, got home at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I had to go to Chickasaw County to New Hampton, and that was a meeting of the regional mental health group. And we had a lot of discussion back and forth, but Peggy's aware of this. After all discussion, talking about balances and carryovers, we lowered everybody's per capita from 35.18 to 31.18, 33.18. Went down $2. And Peggy, you might tell what you had to do to get that change in our budget.
In order to be able to change a budget after it's been officially approved and certified to the state, you have to ask the state to go in and reject your budget, which I really hate to do.
Oh,
That just
yeah.
feels awful. I told the gal at Department of Management, I said, I don't like the word reject.
It sounds like
But,
bad.
yeah, so they have to reject it to make it so it can come back to me so that I can change the rate. And then that's what will be on taxes go.
Okay.
After all your hard work, then you call and say, well, can you reject the
I
work that I
didn't know you
did?
could even do that. You know, it's
Still
like,
learning, aren't we?
what- Yeah, once it's certified, I thought you're done, but evidently you can go back. and
Other
change
discussion
it.
at that meeting was pretty much budget things. We went over next year's budget, talked about what they spend the money for, and mainly trying to get what we talk about all the time, jail diversion and some of those mental health things taken care of as far as law goes. And with that budget, they also have money to hand out to various organizations to try to help them get beds going and so forth. So it's not just in-house stuff, but it's what they do out in the community. They're gonna help support the CFR, they help support the life services down here when workforce closed, or not workforce, but life, what do you call it, LifeWorks?
that works, yeah.
So those are the kind of things we talked about. And the next meeting will be over in Clayton County on the 26th of April. Thanks a lot for getting me on this committee. I'll give your number out again. And then, that was Wednesday. Friday night, I went to the daycare fundraiser. Should've sent some of you guys there too. I don't have
earplugs?
I took my earplugs. I don't know how much money we got raised. We had a lot of people down there.
Oh, that's good.
And I haven't seen the total stuff, how much money we got.
About 10,000, I heard.
We got $10,000. So that was a good event. So
Yeah.
We appreciate, there's what, 3 or 4 families that did that?
I think so.
Or
They paid for the band.
They paid for the band, that was very nice.
And then Rustic paid up like $150 for the night to keep it going for a while, another hour and a half longer, so.
Awesome.
I came there about, 6:45. I had to park down in front of, B&S to get a place to park. That's how many people were around. So it was a good event. That was it, Peggy.
Monday I was out for the secondary roads with the rest of us. Wednesday, the 22nd, I had a Midas meeting, on the planning. They're trying to hire a planner. They put the word out. And then we had the general meeting. I passed this paper out. And it's gonna filter back down to the county, looks like, some of it. They would like to have you write your senators or call your senators and congressmen in Washington and tell them to, they got a list of stuff here that they would like to keep in. Some of it, well, they're gonna eliminate the Economical Development Administration. The CDBG programs, the block grants that all the cities use, most of the little cities, that's where they get their money for upgrading their sewer and water systems, and that's gonna be cut. So I don't know what these cities, these little towns are gonna do to get money. The Department of Agriculture, Water and Wastewater Loan and Grant Program, they're gonna get rid of. Elimination of the Federal Emergency Management Agency state and local grant funding unauthorized by Congress, including the Pre-Disaster Mitigations Grant Program. That's gonna hurt, that'll filter back to us. I think Melanie down there receives a grant every year on some of that, so she'll probably be in wanting an increase in her budget. Department of Labor, Job Training and Employment Services, there's a whole list there that they're gonna be cutting. And, that second page there is to send to your congressman or senator organization and stuff, trying to get them to keep the CDBG grants in there anyway, some of the others. Very good meeting.
That fourth one down, we talked to the legislators about that when we was out in D.C., so they've been pounded on already by the Department of Housing.
Yeah, they're cutting some of the wrong places. Then Friday, I met with, just lost her name, Hankins, out here at the Humboldt County Health Board, and we had a very good discussion on stuff, and she brought me up to date on a lot of the programs that they've got going and what they're doing. That's about all I had. I was at that fundraiser Friday night. I didn't stay, I stayed over in the other restaurant
you
part,
were
it was
at-
too noisy for me.
I had my earmuffs over on the other side.
We should've sent some over. I left at 9 o'clock when it started really rocking the windows.
You and I were the oldest guys there, weren't we?
Probably.
I saw Mike Worthington, and 3 of us.
Yeah, Mike was there, Grave and some of them, so that's all I had.
All right, same as everyone else, on Monday after the meeting, the secondary roads 5-year plan discussion, had that. Then on Wednesday, in the Webster City, Hamilton County Courthouse, I had a decategorization board meeting, and that was quite interesting, a lot to get up to speed on. They don't meet, but usually approximately every other month, depending, so quite a bit of stuff, but yeah, I paid close attention, and, it's something I didn't, of course, wrap my mind around, but it was a good meeting, good board. And I always look to see, like everyone else mentions, how does anything they're doing or not doing possibly relate back to us, and, didn't see any major problems there, but, so, looking forward to serving on that board. It actually should be kind of a, I don't know if fun is be ever the right word, but, not too bad. But
Interesting.
Interesting and decategorization, so it's a lot to get your mind around, what that board takes care of. So, anyway, that was good. I don't know, these are the committee reports, that's on the committee that I was on. Was out and about and looked at some ditch cleanout concern on Monday and Thursday, two different separate, instances or locations. So, just to report that I looked at that, and I'll bring that up at further time. So, that's what I had on my plate last week.
Okay.
No official report here, Rick, but Kent and I was at an event Saturday morning, and we have 180,000 meals we've figured out, Kent.
Oh, wow, I didn't
Oh,
realize.
right there to the church.
Meals for the Heartline. It cost 20 cents a meal to make those things, and they collected $30-some thousand to get 180,000 up done. It was amazing. They had cars all over the place, people working hour-and-a-half shifts, it was great.
You know,
Kent and I had to be on the same team, we argued with each other quite a bit.
they
He
had,
kept putting too much food in there and I had to weigh it.
didn't they only do, and I don't know if that, the number, but didn't Des Moines only do like 70-some thousand?
I don't know. The
I
fairground,
think-
I don't know.
Yeah, Humboldt usually ranks up there pretty high.
Humboldt is one of
We're
the
number
highest.
one
We're the
except for the
highest
state
per
fairground.
capita.
That's huge, I mean, that's a huge,
They're gonna set it probably 185,000 to go next year, they're talking about, so.
wow.
The big problem is raising the money, it's not getting people to do the work, but you have to raise the funds to buy the food to put in the bags. That's where they fell short.
Good job.
Yeah, a certain percentage of those stay right here in the community. Okay, also on Monday I was out to the work session. And then on Wednesday morning, I went over to Pocahontas for the Iowa Drainage District Association meeting. The lawsuit, as you've heard, has been thrown out, but that doesn't mean they're not gonna appeal it. They have up to 30 days to appeal still. They do have a fair amount of attorney fees that haven't been paid yet. I think we have one more year of dues coming up. Our county pledged $5,000 a year for 3 years to help defend the drainage districts of Iowa against these lawsuits.
What, 20 counties did that?
I think so,
About everybody north of Highway 20.
yeah. Not all the counties did, just the ones up here with drainage issues. So they're planning on still collecting the dues, and then if there's any funds left over after they get all the attorney bills in, they'll refund that back to the counties. Because they do have a little bit of money set aside to help pay for these bills, lawyer fees, but they have a feeling there'll still be some if the appeal comes in. So, that's the stance on that.
Did he talk anything about the bill that introduced to the legislature to take that authority away from the Des Moines Water Works?
Yeah.
Or, what was their feeling over there about that, for or against?
Well, they're pretty excited about it, to tell you the truth, just to have that off the table. Whether that was the final vote, they had other options to go to, but that was one way of, it dissolved that. And a lot of it was one government body can't sue another government body, is really why it got through out.
Well, somebody's spending a lot of money because they're doing a lot of
Well,
advertising.
there's a lot of advertisement on the radio about
On
that.
the radios, pro and con about the city versus the outlying communities
Yeah.
that don't have a voice, and what Des Moines charges you for your water versus, so somebody's spending
Yeah.
lots of cash.
Well, obviously, there's lots of dollars involved here. And when there's dollars involved, there's people who want to protect that money, that they think is theirs. So, we'll see how it plays out in the next 30 days.
Right.
And that's all I had, I think. That meeting on Wednesday morning from 9 to noon.
So you said you got that bill for the water
This is
that we hauled over there,
the
is that
leachate.
right where we were
Yeah. Leachate,
expecting it to cost us? I mean, it was,
yeah.
did,
They hauled up, they were allowed 150,000 gallons, I think we hauled up 148,000, some,
we were getting too close to the...
running over.
Running to the top
Where'd they haul it
at the
to?
old...
They hauled it up to Renwick, we have a 2080 agreement with them to their wastewater treatment up there. And, we're allowed to haul it up there, so we hauled up what we could, and that got us down to where our leachate pond now is safe from running over.
Isn't it the same guidelines as a farmer that has a manure storage tank, pit? If it gets
That-
towards the top, I think there's so much distance that once it gets to that area, you're in danger and you gotta get that level down, and I think that's the way the DNR monitors.
Well, I agree, that
And
makes,
we have to send, they have to stir it, take samples, send it in before you can haul it, to make sure that it's fine to be hauled up there. If it wasn't, I don't really know what the second option would have been.
if it ever comes to that, but, yeah, I understand.
But, you go out there and there's bullfrogs and snakes and turtles
Living
swimming
in
in
it.
it, so it must not be just too...
And this is monitored by the DNR,
Yeah. Mhm.
okay?
So,
Was that not, I mean, so it sounded like the amount was correct, if there's a limit on the gallonage.
Yeah.
The price was not unexpected, the
No.
cost of it.
Okay, that's all I had. I guess we can probably start our drainage. Can I get a motion to go into drainage?
I so moved to go into drainage.
A first and a
David.
second, all in favor?
aye.
Motion carries.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a couple questions. Paul's contract every year, or is it?
Yeah, he has a yearly contract.
Yearly contract, okay. And what is ordinance 39? I kind of missed that.
Oh, that's the E91, 911
She
board.
didn't give us a copy, but if you want it, I can go
Yeah,
ask her.
Becky has a copy of it.
Okay.
It was just minor wording changing.
Oh, sure, okay.
It was nothing major.
Good morning.
Morning,
Morning,
Rick.
Rick.
How are you?
Good.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Let's see this,
Sure didn't,
hand out an ADO.
Muster up
sure.
much
Yes, sir.
farmer support in here, did we?
No,
I've read through it.
maybe they'll have, it happen yet. We've got at least one out in the hall,
Well,
so,
that's good,
yeah.
but that's hard to get a consensus on one guy.
You got a
Oh,
pretty big
that's all
pile
we
in
got.
15 minutes.
Only
I-
there's only
what?
one sitting out there.
45.
Oh.
I just talking.
Okay.
Never mind, I got it right there.
Okay, well then, if Kent got it, I'm gonna stick,
We-
Oh,
but it was all right, for him to get
Maybe
that.
she's heard it along. You heard any voice, their opinion on this?
Yeah,
Okay.
Good.
1 inch,
That's,
1 inch.
that's what I heard.
That
from
What
our
makes
what I
previous meeting.
assumed, but I guess
They just called.
you calling yourself now? You running in the back room calling? I guess that's acceptable to
Okay,
me.
when you're ready, Trish, we'll get started.
We're all waiting.
Here's the story.
You want your, what do you need?
This is pick on Trish Day.
Got the little table over there.
Okay. Ready, set, go.
We're
Okay,
off.
Rick,
Okay, I think first thing you've got is,
we got, signing of a contract with B&B Farm Drainage.
yes, they're a very good contractor, very ambitious. They've done a couple of projects for us up in our Gold Star area. Not afraid to recommend award at all. Trish has the contract documents back, signed by everybody. Right, you have the contracts for that.
Yeah,
Okay. And that's is that the notice of award? Or, okay,
this is the...
That's 71,152,
that's three.
71,000 checked out.
Yes, yep.
Or must be.
The contract, the books, should be 3 spec books with all the documents in it. I think it's in that stack with the other one, I believe.
Oh, that's right, because I have 3 in place.
Exactly.
So refresh my memory, the number 4 is,
That's the one by Hardy.
Yeah,
and this is dipping?
Yeah,
Yes.
clean.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's like looks like a tree, there's arms going everywhere on that.
yeah.
Is this one Rasmus, Rick?
Rick Peterson,
Or,
gosh.
no.
No.
No, the one that Rick Rasmussen sent a picture on, that's questioning the different,
Probably.
Yeah, 'cause
That's
there's
up-
lots of
that's
different
up in that
branches.
area.
vicinity, that's why I wondered.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
Rick
lots
Ras-
of,
No, that would be, probably.
Jim Rasmussen,
Jim
excuse me.
Rasmussen, I was gonna say.
I think this is the one we're gonna work downstream, because there's pipes that need work downstream from where we're cleaning
Yeah,
out.
there's other pipes that need to be addressed,
Yeah.
and then it's slough. Wasn't there a corner that needs to be fixed?
Yes, there
Further
was.
down?
Yep, where there's a north-south stretch of it, and then it curves and goes west again, yes. Yep, I've got that on an aerial photograph. And you can actually pick it out, you can zoom in far enough on an aerial photograph to pick that out, so. That'd work, 'cause she sent that too, I assume, right? So, yeah, there should be 3 books, right? Okay.
Yeah.
We do 3, spec books with all the paperwork in it. The notice of award, notice to proceed, the actual contract, his bond, and then,
Stuff.
yep, we have one for the county, one for us, and one for the contractor then, so.
Okay. Can I get a motion to?
I would make a motion to accept the contract for B&B for the drainage on number 4.
I have a
For
first.
the price that was quoted,
Yeah.
I don't have that, what was it, Rick? 70,
Let's see. Not on that page.
you just read
I
it.
had number 6.
$97,465.96. $97,465.96.
I would make that motion for that amount for B&B for number 4.
I'll second that.
I have a first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Do I sign the rights here then?
Yes, yes. Mhm.
Are your glasses in your truck, or?
They're in my bag here.
You can keep adjusting.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Right distance there.
That was my father-in-law decided he was gonna need glasses with longer arms years ago.
I have to sign three papers, is that right?
Mine were fine until they put them bifocals in, and
Oh,
they're trying to adjust
yeah.
back and forth.
Uh-huh. I'm with you there.
Okay, now we'll move on to DD number 3, award contract.
Okay, DD 3 clean out, remember we had the bid letting, we had really, really good prices. Firm called, it's Yerke and Sons out of Sioux Falls was the low bidder. We hadn't worked with them, so we did some checking on references. I've never got better references in my life. I talked to a Steve Snyder, who's an engineer in east South Dakota. They do some work into Minnesota. Couple of things he volunteered I never even asked, like on ditch cleanouts, they don't over dig, they don't undercut the sides, they're careful, they stockpile the dirt properly, they don't spread it too far, they do a good job, better even than their previous contractor. And then I talked to another engineering firm, same general area. They're currently still even working on a project with them. And their project, they did the plans using aerial photography, so there were a lot of changes. A lot of changes. He said they were really good to work with on the changes. That project was about $70,000 or $75,000. Said they trust him, they definitely use them again. Drainage board up there had no problems with them, they were happy with them. Which hit me, they said they didn't have one complaint on the job, not one. I talked to a pipe supplier about something else, And he asked about them because he had worked with them years ago. He says they have great equipment. They mostly use their crane service for setting precast box culvert sections. You guys do those projects, I know. But he said, that they were good to work with, good equipment. So, I guess we're going on record recommending that you award to Yerke. I'm a little disappointed, because I'd love to have Rick Peterson on it, but Yerke's a responsible contractor with good references, so.
Low bidder by $4,000.
Yes, yep.
And like I say, we've done our diligence, checked them out. I hate sending our money that far away from the community, especially having given it to another state even. But this is the process we go through for low bids. That's how you get low bids, by honoring the low bids. And,
Well, I wanna go on record as saying to Rick, thank you for the due diligence in checking that out, because I also wanna go on record that if it doesn't look right, we're gonna revisit the low bid.
Absolutely.
And it sounds to me that there's no concern about that
No, and
quality of work.
they agreed to a pre-construction meeting here, said they'd come down. I'm gonna see if he'll have his operator come too. There's Keith Yerke is the person I've been talking to. We talked about pre-con and where to have it. He said we could have it down there, not a problem. So, when we get that arranged, I'll let you know if
They
anybody
gotta
wants
be
to.
doing work in somewhere else in the area.
Yes, and somebody told me they're working on a private site, was it a confinement or what was it? In the general area at least, not necessarily
I just
Humboldt
can't
County.
imagine they can haul their machine from
Yeah.
South Sioux Falls
Good point.
for the difference
Good
in
point.
what his bid is versus Peterson's bid.
I know.
Versus for,
Maybe they do a little advertising when you get started.
If there's,
hey, I'm all for it, that's,
because they're saying, I'm sure they do all their own hauling and everything
Sure.
too, which should help them, so. But yeah, you're right, that was my first
but
impression.
Rick sitting on the edge of town, and,
Yep,
I mean, I thought his was a pretty good bid. but-
it was a really good bid, yes, yep.
okay, can I get a motion to that effect?
Is it Yerke spelled J-E-R?
Yep,
Out of Sioux
Jerke,
Falls?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
Well,
Yerke and Sons Construction, Sioux Falls,
sounds good.
yep.
given all of the good discussion, I would make a motion to approve said, contract.
I have a first by Eric,
I will second it.
second by Bruce, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now we're gonna move down to, I gotta wait a few minutes. We've got 5 minutes before we go to that one.
Well, 75374. Number 6, let's just refresh our memory where we're going with number 6.
This is the tile project just north of Thor, north and west of Thor, just a little bit. It's the main, and then we have branch B.
Yes, and the main actually crosses the Thor Blacktop and goes about a half a mile into
So this
that
one that goes
section.
east,
Yeah, there you go, yeah,
Towards the-
northeast and then kinda east and crosses the Blacktop.
was this the one the gentleman was worried about the peat ground?
No, I don't think, so. Oh, was it?
Around
I'm trying to
the
remember
I think, I
what
remember him
district.
talking about that, yeah.
Well, I've been thinking about that ever since he said that. I just wish there's a way that if we're gonna clean that out.
Well, this is a tile. Put-
Yeah.
put the
Oh,
new
all right.
main.
Yeah, this
I
is
think
tile.
that one was, he's
That
talking
was the
about
other
the
one.
ditch. I think that was the one up by Four there, that,
Well, we wanna discuss that, 'cause I really hate to put money into that, and then we have that ground that we get a heavy rain, and we wash it right back into the ditch that we just dipped. Somehow we gotta be able to figure out a way to put some grass strips in front of those, I think.
I'm
Like
all
he-
for it, yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
mentioned,
Surface
it probably
pipes
doesn't
that
make
go.
any sense to do the work and then get a heavy rain and fill the ditch right back in, so.
Yeah.
We can't force anybody, but we
No.
sure would like to say,
Please
gentlemen,
consider
you know,
this.
it's your,
Yeah,
it's your
it's your nickel.
county,
Yeah.
why fill it right in, so. I don't know how would we proceed with that? Ask?
Have an informal meeting with the landowners along the ditch.
He would, I'm assuming he had more ideas as to which, he said there was what, several I can't remember the number he said for tile that dumped right in there. So,
Now, that, in line with that, what we're doing with this tile project, DD6,
Oh,
we're not putting any surface intakes in. We're putting in that, what we're calling a clean water intake, where we put several laterals really close together and then tie it
this
into
is
the tile.
your guys' method that
Yes,
we've done before?
yep, and you guys did it on 125 out here,
yeah.
and we haven't had any complaints. I thought maybe it would be slow enough, but...
Is this gonna be nicknamed the Westergaard?
We'll call it Alan, my middle name, so it doesn't associate with me. So,
Rick, there's no changes from the original information on this project.
On six?
On six?
no, I believe we took the branch B further north is the only change
Yeah.
that I can
Branch
think of.
B, I think, brings it
Yeah.
a little further north.
Yeah, I believe that was the only change. So,
You wanna talk about it a little bit?
Oh,
I see you came.
I'm just curious what, I'm heavily involved in funding of this thing,
Yeah.
so.
Well, we appreciate that,
I'm
Steve.
just kinda curious what the heck, how broke am I gonna be when it's over?
You gotta decide between a half inch and an inch, that's the big.
Yeah, that's one of the decisions we have to make today, is whether we're gonna award the inch or the half inch.
So, well, on the branch B side, how far north is that gonna go?
I think we're about a quarter of a mile north into the north property, and that can be extended a little bit. We'll see how the construction goes, I guess. But it'd be pretty easy to do it privately too, so,
Right.
that might be a little savings.
That's, well,
Let's have a fire sale in this door again.
if they're gonna wind up doing it, why, I don't know if I can do it a lot cheaper on my own.
Well, maybe not.
Or-
See, that'd be part of,
They are local and.
Yeah.
they're-
Yeah,
they're
that's
companies
probably
that-
who you'd have to do it anyway.
Well.
Possibly.
They'd have the possibility, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be something
yeah, we've had such good luck with them. We haven't done a lot with Scott yet, but some, and he's been very good to work with. Yeah, we were very glad they got the bid.
I guess as far as the 1 inch or the half inch, I'm kinda surprised.
Yeah, I'm real
I
surprised.
thought the
One
place would
sitting
be
here,
full.
But, through the past course of the discussions, we haven't had anybody, denounce the idea of going with 1 inch. If it's going through, the opinion has always been,
Yeah.
go big or don't go
Bigger
at
makes
all.
it move faster.
Well,
Yeah, go big or don't go at all.
For 30 to
but-
35% more money, you get twice the drainage. And that's why it's been, a lot of these projects have gone to the 1 inch,
Yeah.
so.
And in those situations where we need it, it is so flat
Yeah,
that,
it is.
it's not like it's gonna go, the water's just gonna go rushing away, even with this project.
That's right.
It's just got a place it can go now compared to, watching tile lines that you open up the intake and you wonder if there's anything moving at all.
Well, and you guys are familiar with the idea with tile where we end up draining an area, so it kind of creates a reservoir within the soil. So your first inch or two cause very little damage, on a rain, because you've created a place for the water to go. So, that all helps. And we continue to design these so that it's a half-inch coefficient with the pipe just flowing full, and a 1 inch the same way. So if you get some ponding in the fields, it's actually pushing it more. You're getting almost
You
an
get
inch
the
and a
head
half.
pressure.
That's right. You're getting almost an inch and a half coefficient out of the 1 inch design, based on creating pressure with the ponding. So, we find that's worked out really well. Yeah, it just doesn't take that much more size, probably one pipe size and you got that, so.
Did you have any calls, Trish?
Yes, I did. I had 2 landowners call in favor of the 1 inch drainage coefficient.
Rick,
Jim,
picture me worth $1,000 more, is this in total?
Yes, but now there's also a line that comes up right here into 6. That's the one, there we go.
6?
Yeah,
Number 6.
oh, this is just for the main,
Okay.
yeah, this is the main.
Oh, I
Yep.
think that's...
We also have one that comes here,
In the main, right?
that's branch B.
Well, we haven't even
Yeah,
really
this
opened
is the
it,
main, and
that's
this branch
special
B,
main
comes almost a half
15.
mile in here,
Yep.
and then it gets up into this section.
This is the end,
We actually go to the ditch.
Option three,
We go right to the ditch.
this ends right now.
Yep.
option three,
Yeah.
So it's going through the end of the ditch.
Yep, we come in on
the
the
main,
south kind of side with this one,
Yeah.
and then kind of the north side
But
with
where
this
does
one.
this one, okay, so there's two separate,
Two separate entities, so we're
Two separate.
treating these completely separate now.
okay. so
It used to be 1,000 feet or something where they were together,
Right,
that just didn't make sense for this. We've completely separated now, the branch B is kind of the west one, and it comes into the kind of the northwest corner of the ditch. And then the main goes northeast generally, and then east, and that ties in on the southwest side
Are
of the
these
ditch.
separate, or these, what we're talking about?
They'll be separate, there'll be separate notices sent,
They're separate projects.
yeah.
This, okay,
Just so happens the same contractor
Yeah,
as
it's just a
well.
coincidence that he got them both.
Yeah,
okay, but there's.
we
Okay.
split them up hoping to get better
All
prices.
right, well, we're actually formally gonna,
Open it.
Okay,
can I get a motion discussion on,
I make that motion,
On,
discussion on DD number 6 main tile and branch B.
okay, hearing from a couple of landowners that have called in, one that's here, it sounds like they're looking more for the 1-inch coefficients for, branch B and the main.
And you might get some input, at least from one landowner here, on the 10 years versus the 20 years too.
Yeah, what's your opinion on that?
Interest low, take it as far out as you can go.
Well, and you can pay off parcels, I mean, that's the
That
thing.
sounds like a
No,
slogan from somebody's dad.
No repayment plan discounts or anything like that? I don't think we need to worry about that in the immediate near future.
Just, I'd run some numbers here a while back. Jumping from the half-inch to the 1-inch will, if you spread it out over 20 years, will add $18 an acre per year.
mm,
Pretty insignificant with inputs that they have today.
Yeah.
And the difference in the water that it'll move.
Oh,
needs to
oh,
is huge.
incredible, yeah, huge,
For 18,
yeah.
that would be my,
It's on a 20-year,
Yep,
each landowner can determine how many years they want to.
No.
Have you the
No.
whole.
you guys said it, yeah. Yeah, that'd be nice, but it'd be a little complicated accounting wise, yeah.
well, do you wanna go over the bids? Is the bid, was it out of
Um,
Badger? Is that the one that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nell Peterson.
that was
Yep.
the
He was a little
low at
bigger.
875, 658? Was that our total? What I wrote down.
Number I have.
I got too many things here. Let's see, what's the best way to do that? So did I give you the branch B and main bid tabs?
Yeah, both.
Okay, yeah, so, look at, oh, okay, that's this one. I gave you a typed one, didn't I?
I have these, do you want copies?
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Yeah,
to
let's
have
do.
copies.
I was thinking I'd copied them, but I just got too many papers here to... Thank you.
So these were, yeah, obviously bid separately,
Right,
but regardless, are they gonna be done at the same time? Well, I mean, you're gonna do one and the other.
Right, yeah, that's
In
how
that,
we'll do it.
in a
I'm
time
sure.
frame that's not gonna be one today and one a year from today.
Right, yeah, we've got it, this fall is completion,
Okay.
so,
For
both of
both.
them. Yep, and we haven't had a problem with that with Peterson ever in the past.
I mean, it obviously means it's actually two separate projects.
Yes,
It's one, the other, and it's done.
yes, there you go. Yes, that's a good description.
Okay.
Stephen, the good thing on this was there's 9 different contractors that were here that day that bid these.
Yeah, I think we really got a very good bid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, Dave mentioned that to me, that is a lot more interested contractors than I expected.
Oh, yeah, it was amazing to me. I figured maybe 5 or 6, but, yeah.
And if, having a local one take in the low bid is, I feel a good thing. He's been here a long time, and he's gotta live, he'll live with an earful just like you guys.
That's right.
Yeah, that might,
Yeah.
keep them a little bit more responsible, 'cause they're not 500 miles away.
Yeah, he's got a local reputation to uphold.
That's good, accountability is a good thing.
That is a good thing, yeah.
Well, we're gonna add you in parentheses that supervisors either agreed with Stevens as a consultant.
Yeah, we took his recommendation.
Maybe I should go back out now.
Well, we don't want Steve to get in any trouble.
My dad will be the first one that I'm in trouble with.
Of those 9 bids, 6 of them were within 100,000, so that means the low bid was, pretty accurate too.
Yep, representative, yes, yeah. You'll usually, with this many bids, you'll usually get 1 or 2 that just throw something in.
By 1 in a million.
Yeah, yeah.
I had to clarify with Dad, he wasn't gonna get it paid for in his lifetime. I wasn't sure if I was either, but it's important.
Well, tell me he's not getting out of it that easy.
The bids, there was, from the top bid to the bottom bid, there was $374,005 difference.
Really?
Yeah, that's big.
Mhm, good point, here, Dave.
On the 1 inch. I didn't figure the half inch,
And that was on the whole project?
but that was on the main tile.
Main tile.
Oh,
That was on the main
Oh,
tile.
that was just on the main one going east?
Yeah,
Oh,
It was about 30.
There's quite a spread from the low to the high.
Yeah.
The high coming real high.
Well, you said, Rick, you know, you're see it as a
1.59.
not necessarily a comments, but
No. With this many bidders, there might be 2 or 3 that just did something in a hurry and put it
you
in.
said, hey,
They don't know how much interest you have in your bids, and if there's only 2 or 3, they might luck out and get one.
sure.
Yeah, so, no, it's common.
$266,958 on the branch B. Difference.
Pretty
Between the
big
high-
there,
that's
too.
range on that one?
Yeah, oh yeah, there's big range.
That's a considerably,
It's a big range.
There's
yeah,
big.
bigger range in comparison.
I mean, if you take, yeah,
Compared to the distance and the amount
These
involved.
are my figures.
I know.
Yeah, the amount of tile here.
Yeah.
Here's a higher bid on that.
Oh, more yet?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Thanks, Trish.
Thank you, ma'am.
You know, I wrote you guys down that
thank you
paperwork.
very much.
I'm gonna give you one more sheet, just as something I've kinda looked at, just for your information. This shows, okay, if it's how much an acre it costs, what would their 10-year and what would their 20-year payments be per acre? It's just, I just found it very interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
You've done this before.
Yes, yes, and one,
Yeah, that's.
you hear about lowering the interest rate, well,
Do you want one of these, Steve? Do you have a copy for you?
Sure.
yeah.
Being you're in
Yeah,
on
yeah,
that.
good idea. And so I looked at 5%, because Palo Alto charges 5%. The 20-year cost for $200 is $2 less if you go to 5% interest instead of 6. Per acre. Yeah, it just, you'd have to make interest drastically lower to make a significant difference, so. Paying this 6% helps get good bids, because the contractors can sell them easily if your treasurer is not buying them, so. It just works out well. So now I guess it's a matter of how you do the motions as far as the award.
Do those separately? Or
Yeah,
together?
I think it'd be
I would do
better
it
separately,
Separately.
just to, since it's considered separate, it just happens to be
Do the main first. Can I get a motion to award the main to Nels Peterson?
I would move the award to option 3, I believe it is, to the main, Nels Peterson for $875,658.
That's for the 1/8 coefficient.
1-inch coefficient.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, I have a first and a second, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now let's have a motion for award of branch B to Nels Peterson.
I'll make a motion to go with the 1-inch coefficient to Nels Peterson on branch B for a total of $548,571.
I have a first.
I would second that
And
motion.
a second, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Make a motion to go to a 20-year.
A motion from Dave to go to a 20-year. Is there a certain percentage you wanna throw on that? Is there 6%? I think we probably should, because we don't know what interest rate.
Yeah, and I think I had that in the spec book, that that's what it would be.
Okay,
6%.
all right.
I second the motion, of 20 years at 6%.
All right, second by Eric. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion
I
carries.
think what, wouldn't hurt if you had a couple of copies of this, if someone comes in, you can hand this out to them and just give them the difference for 10 versus 20.
And
If
they
any
can
landowner,
pay it off early.
if any landowner came in, you just keep a copy of that and run it off, so that,
That payoff thing is a per parcel,
Per parcel.
so however that's
Yeah,
parcel.
they can pull a certain 40 off and pay that 40 off early,
At any,
at any time.
Yeah, they can't pay down a parcel, they either have
You
to
have to
pay the
pay
annual
off.
or pay it off, yeah.
and so they could be paid, means this is set at 20 years, they could have paid several years annually. And then, come in the next year and say, I wanna pay the balance.
There you go.
of the parcel.
Yeah,
We get
Always have that
$7
option.
corn again,
They always have
yeah,
that option. Very good.
Win the lottery.
yeah, that too.
something more to sign.
Oh, yeah.
and refresh me, Rick, when are you, our plans are, this is middle, they're gonna try to do some of this summer, or is
Which-
it late?
on
Or
six-
no?
Yeah, that's gonna be done this
Sorry.
summer. Might get into fall with some of it, working around some of their other contracts they might have, but, yeah, I think December 1st was our completion date. So we're giving them
Would
this
we be
season.
out staking this before, during, or after when they start?
Yeah, we'll be
Planting.
out there probably, yeah, I'm not sure exactly when they're gonna start. We're gonna have a pre-construction meeting with them too.
Well, I guess
Get more
I just,
details.
that way the farmers kinda know if they see those stakes in there and they go mowing them over,
Yeah,
and we gotta start back over with,
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that, or if there's an area, you know it's gonna get tore out, maybe you can shed a few rows off and not bother planting.
Well,
yeah, that's the other
And
thing.
we're,
You do have that option these days, you just.
and we could
I'm probably
set,
not that talented to do it right.
we could set some lath along center line when we're down here. I mean, we could probably do the whole thing in half a day, one person.
Well, I guess I just,
That's, let us.
give them an idea as to where
Yeah.
we're at and what we're thinking, and
Save some
I
money.
hate to see them out there when the corn goes from knee-high in July to, next thing you know, you're walking around looking for that lath.
And their timing sometimes works out, that we ride on the dozer with the contractor and he dozes the crop out along the line. Depends on how the timing works.
Right.
And they can get damages for those actual crops taken out. So, yeah, part of the reason we give them through the summer to build it is to get better prices. And it's worked out historically.
If they shorten up your window, the prices just goes
Oh, it can just,
20, 30, 40% higher.
oh, yeah.
So is this coming from down here? Cretex or whatever they're...
Yes,
which
it
are-
looks like it, yeah. Hancock, I guess, did turn in a bid to contractors for the pipe, but they have to haul it so much further.
So further,
Yeah,
so much further.
so,
So
looks
the
like
pipe's
Cretex.
coming from where?
Well, I don't know if it's this plant exactly, sometimes they even haul some from West Des Moines, but some of it will come from here for sure.
What they, a lot of times they'll do, if it's coming from Des Moines or one of the other ones, they haul pipe down there and then they'll bring it back from
Yeah.
Des Moines when they come back, so it works good for the
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
companies, all in both
Those
directions.
truckers get us one way or the other anyway.
yeah, truckers make money, you just hand over fist.
I remember doing that once.
Once?
I remember making money hauling pipe once. And then I broke my leg and I got out of that, so.
Sorry, Bruce.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of damages, how does that,
Okay, there's the actual crop loss, if they take out a crop that's been planted, that'll be, you'll get notice when the job's completed, that'll be your responsibility to come in with a claim. The appraisal report is done, that's allowing for future loss and taking care of easement costs. So,
There's a certain distance, right?
yeah, we
On
typically
both.
do 30-foot wide over the top of the tile for a permanent easement, and been paying $2,125 an acre for that. And then for the wider area, that's, the effect,
The construction area.
construction area, we've been allowing, this would be for the next year, 50% loss the next year, then 25% the year after that, then 10% the year after that. Looking at 200 bushels an acre and 350 a bushel, so it comes out to $595 an acre for the second, third, and fourth year of that. Depending on your farm operation, you could maybe heal it up faster, or slower.
yeah.
Rick, can they get drop damage if they choose not to plant where they think it's gonna be torn up?
And most counties have been paying it, even just,
Well, yeah, because you're losing that crop.
That way you don't have papers
And it's kind of
Yeah.
a courtesy to the contractor that, I mean, in my opinion.
yeah.
If you go out by Virgil Williams and you can kinda
You can see why they
the
pay,
barometer.
Oh,
you can see why you're getting paid, because it does damage the soil, all the compaction, they haul the pipe in.
And they kinda keep an eye on the weather, you know, if the rain's coming and they're getting short on pipe,
Mhm.
they'll run 10, 12 trucks out there and try to get some stock build up, because it takes a while to, you know, just like you
Yeah.
going across it with your cultivator or whatever, you gotta,
try and
So
get it
they
out there.
try to get
If
trucks
it's
out there
They
and-
can work with
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Try and
Yeah.
get the truck out there.
yeah, without
After
burying
it's too
them,
late.
so.
Exactly.
It's kind of they all hopefully work together,
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
9:45.
Still a little early for 125.
Got any reports?
Anything else we need to discuss on drainage? Would you like to talk about what you looked at this last week?
Yes, and I'll tell you what I looked at, and I mentioned this to Rick, but I do have pictures of everything, and I wanna put it together. It is on the computer, but get it through so, and we should be able to hook it up to the TV somewhere in the near future, but it wasn't gonna be today with all this other business. And just kinda show you, one was involving, two requests for, possible ditch clean out. Completely separate areas. And the one, it would have to be, we'd have to reestablish right of way, because he's been farming it, and I mentioned that to the landowner. So there was good discussion with that, and that would have to be something that would have to be, surveyed to a degree with the fall, and can this be, with the reestablishment of the right of way, the fall to where the water flows and goes under the road type thing. So it's a doable project, but I want everyone to see what it looks like. The other one was a little, to me, just by visually looking at it, it's a little bit more cut and dried. It's evident that the water flows out of a natural waterway in the field into the ditch, and it's just slowly but surely silted in. And it's probably, didn't measure it, there again, you want to do it officially.
So these are probably more secondary roads.
These are secondary roads, yep,
Okay.
and it does involve the ditch of the secondary road. So, but the other one, separate project that I looked at a couple days after that, probably approximately 600, give or take, feet that it's silted in, because historically, that one's very easy to see, that the water does run, has gone in that ditch and heads down naturally towards the river. So, I just like to show the board what they look like. I mean, pictures are pretty good, but I don't wanna pass my cell phone around to see it. So, just want to, I think we need to look at that as a board first and then move forward with it. Like I said, the two completely different programs. The one, God mentioned the name is Rick Nielsen, that, his property, that is a concern of his. Yes, that's fine. No, you cannot farm the right of way. That would have to be obviously reestablished. And it, like I said, you have to look at it, you have to survey it, you have to get the elevation. In the process of reestablishing the right of way and this concern of ditch cleanout, that may take care of both things. But, so that went real well, and I said I would like it to really see that and then get discussion about it, put it on the agenda if need be, and basically just so we have more time. The other one, the right of way hasn't been maintained, yes, both secondary roads, pretty simple looking project there. It's just, the fact that it's a natural surface drainage, yes, there's a little tile that dumps in a ditch that's all private on the land, and all that water, of course, is trying to get away, and it's starting to kind of back up, silt up from the ditch. That's just north of Bradgate. Doesn't look like much of a project, but I think it's usually better maybe handled through us as a board than just throw it out to the secondary road people. So, that's what
I think with the first instance, I think what we need to do is we need to put that on paper.
Yep.
So that both parties are aware of what our
Absolutely.
intentions are.
Yep.
And the intention of reestablishing that
Yes.
has to be made clear that, because we've had some issues with
Yes.
that, and that way, there are no surprises if something isn't done according to it was
I agree with
discussed.
that.
It was signed by both them and us,
Mhm.
so, and I think the way it sounds, you've talked to him, so he's very aware of
Yes.
doing.
And I did not set any, do this, that, or the other thing. Obviously, it's quite evident to the naked eye that it's, the right-of-ways are compromised. And so, I agree with Bruce's idea that's why I say that one's a little bit more, in my thought, major board discussion. The other one is fairly simple. It doesn't involve anything, the right-of-ways is fine, everything's fine. It's just understandable why the landowner had concern of the, ditch is silted in because the water runs in it. Not a big thing. But I agree with Bruce, I think that's one that's gonna have to be handled a little bit differently. I mean,
Yeah.
it's reestablishing right-of-ways, yes, this is the right-of-way, maintain the right-of-way, and then in the process.
Once we reestablish it, don't farm it next year.
And precisely.
Yeah.
And that's a very good point. I mean, it's just very, kind of a common sense thing, but it probably is.
Well, I think it's pretty evident, just the tone has changed from the way it was before, and you talking to him, that he's willing to
Well,
work, so.
I hope so.
I think we're.
I hope so. And, I mean, it was a very good conversation, but that's where it starts, so.
We
and there
appreciate
again,
you doing that, so.
I have no problem, I'll do that any time with anyone, but, like I said, just the fact is that reestablishment of right-of-way with if it is correct, the elevation of the ditch and the drainage, it looks like it'd be all incorporated in the same project. But I do like Bruce's idea, it's also put right.
I got a couple just real quick things.
Right.
The Tom Hunter Mart Ag Drainage Well,
Yeah.
when Mansky was here and said that our estimate was $400,000 in the original report, well, that was for a much bigger project serving other ag drainage wells. I brought it with me, I'm not gonna bore you with it, but our estimate for the exact drainage well that he was draining was $58,000, not $400,000. So, I had it separated out, it was lateral 4C, I remember it, having reviewed it. So, now that was in the early to mid-90s.
That was in like 91 or 3, wasn't it?
Yeah, right in there, that'd be really, really close. So it's gone up, I mean, yeah, if I redid that estimate now, it'd be considerably higher. But I just didn't want it to sound like we estimated it 400,000 and it was gonna be
Yeah.
98 now. The other one was, the well, it'd be Trish's dad's area out there, where they're separated out and made 2 laterals out of it. And his estimate now is 165. Well, I did an estimate using concrete pipe, being part of the drainage district, doing right-of-way, and I came up with 186. So, again, in the ballpark. Yeah, and I'm still undecided how they're gonna do Lois Piper's, because she's got 2 wells to close. This tells me that we could do it as a district project and spend very little more than if you did it privately.
So this is over east of Gilmore,
Yes, yeah.
south and east.
It's
Of
further,
3.
yeah, it's further east on Open Ditch 2.
Right.
Yeah, yep. So, not sure how they're gonna do that yet, because I believe Lois did a new petition, didn't she? Yeah, so, and a check, I think he said, so.
Wasn't the last one question?
Because the one is out of the district, said we had to annex first.
Yeah.
Yeah, the private one.
Right.
You're gonna still go through an annexation on that one, because it is outside.
Even if they do it privately, it has to be annexed.
Right.
Yes, yeah.
But she is still interested enough, right?
And hers are both in,
Right, all right.
so, yeah. It's the other one that they're already looking at doing privately that has one outside the district, so. And there's costs figured in for annexation.
Okay.
That'll get taken care of.
I've got a question about back to 6, kind of bouncing back there because you're in a different thing. But, I was wondering how long will it be before, myself and landlords are gonna find out what this thing is gonna cost? Or, I mean, like an estimate, so they
Yeah,
just
I
exactly
want-
know how much
yep.
is gonna wind up coming out of their pocket.
There's 3 or 4 adjustments we need to do to that reclassification, then it's ready to meet with the commissioners. Some of that had private tile on the east end of the main that took water another direction. So we agreed to reduce those assessments. They'll still pay, but it'd be significantly reduced. So those adjustments have to be made yet, and then that report can be finalized. So, come on?
Month maybe?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
It's a question that I'm sure is gonna come up,
Yeah.
maybe, pretty likely. How long before we'll actually know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that still comes down to the end, I understand.
Well,
But we'll be really
hopefully when the
close.
project gets done by December,
Yeah,
we'll be able to get it levied by, when? March levy? So hopefully by a year from now, you'll know.
and we'll get you close way before that.
Right,
But I mean,
that's the part that I
Yeah,
was curious
yeah.
about.
The close part, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The close part first.
Because,
and
yeah,
then
we-
there's
Yeah.
the perfection part, it's
Yeah,
reality.
yeah, 'cause we won't know final construction dollars until they're finished.
Right,
So, 'cause
Right.
things like extra drain tile hookups and, yeah,
yeah, I understand.
you know,
that.
yeah, you know, so.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thanks, Steve.
you.
Okay, we got 9:45, we'll move on to DD 125, discuss some possible action on change order.
Okay, I'll get you a copy of the change order here in a minute, but, this is a construction summary that Trish and I went through
His younger son,
last week.
and his wife.
The issue has always been, where do we stand? Can we get going on the pond and forebay it's called, that catches the silt?
This
Um,
is Dickey's, right?
Yes, this is Dickey's. Yep, and I promised I'd get you something, this had been drug out a long time. So, bottom line on it is that we definitely are recommending that that pond get built just because of the good it will do. And it turns out that so far, paying bills up to date, including interest, we're still under. So, I just did this in handwriting myself, I hope you can read it. What it turns out, right about in the middle, I have the total to date without the pond, a little over 2.5 million. And then the quote we have on the forebay and pond is 127,000 plus. When I put this together, there's like $350 of engineering unbilled. So we come up with a total cost of that 2.661. And based on your 2080 agreement with the state, you could go up to $2,666,667 and get the full 75% cost share. Now, worst case on this is, we're gonna go over this a little bit, I believe, because there'll be interest. But you're probably gonna get 73% cost share, or whatever is how it's gonna work out. It's so close that I feel, it's very worthwhile doing. I put a call into Denver. They have a subcontractor that was gonna do the dirt work, so, they're talking to them on timing, and making sure they'll still do it for them, so. This is a copy of what would be in the change order. I have some here, if you so see fit, we'll be asking for signatures on this. This also includes, the rock. We hit very unstable conditions out there. All of this is included in my estimate. The extra rock, now the pond, the forebay, and what I deleted, we had a pond previously, but it was not as extensive, and it was more of a silt basin, just a silt basin. So I deleted the old pond numbers, that's 74,820, and then added in the new items to come up with a new contract price. All this is reflected in the estimate I just gave you, the 2.61 whatever $million. So, bottom line is, this would get that pond going, and we're gonna be close to budget, if not just over, in the end.
So, you say this changes the pond, we're still in the same location?
Same
We're still bringing
location.
the dirt from, would be the east part of that hillside?
Actually, the west side.
West side?
Yeah, where the alfalfa
I
field.
thought I had
Yeah,
pictures of that.
yeah, I thought it's north, but it's like, everything's crooked.
Oh, yeah, everything is crooked. The road winds around. We've got, I'm trying to remember what report that is in. I think I don't know if it's in the appraisal report, I think it is. Where we show where those are. The forebay is just where the road, if you're coming from the south and the road kinda curves to the northwest, right where our pipe outlets, that's where the forebay is going. And that's where they'll catch most of the silt. The idea is to have a smaller area that maybe you clean out every 10 years or 20 years. And then we go further down the ravine to actually do what we're calling the pond. So, that'll help slow the water down, clean it up. You're just doing your due diligence environmentally with all of this. So, and we do have drawings.
I see
That
you
pond
got,
have to have an overflow pipe or
Yes.
on the overflow
Yep.
pipe?
probably don't blow in a spillway.
There you go, yes, exactly.
I see you have completion to extend it till June 15th.
Yeah, we need to give them a little time here. I'm hoping they get at it right away, but I haven't got a commitment from them yet, so. What I'm hoping is they don't come back and say, make it July 15th.
Well, that's what I was wondering, if they agreed to this.
No.
Oh, okay. that's
No,
what
good
the
question,
was.
yeah. I'm
Because
trying to
June
push a
15th isn't
little,
that far away.
right, I'm trying to push a little so they get in here. If it's another month, I'd still support it 100%, so.
So basically, all they gotta do is go in to wherever they're gonna set that, and then start pulling the trees and stuff away from there?
Yeah, they've actually
When
got
then-
most of the trees out already, that was part of what Dicky did.
Okay.
Mark pulled out a lot
But I
of-
Yeah.
mean, down along the bottom where they're gonna put the dirt and,
Oh, yeah, for the immediate area of the earthen dam, yeah, they'll have to take out some more.
but all of that would be done in cooperation with, is it Mike?
Mark.
Or, no,
Mike
the,
Moreland?
yeah.
Oh, yes, yes.
They would
Yeah,
oversee that?
we will oversee it, actually, as far as, 'cause we'll stake it, 'cause there's pipe that have to go in. basically Denver's looking at this as they're gonna do all the pipe work, but another sub is gonna do the actual dirt work for them.
Dirt work.
Yeah, 'cause it's moving so much dirt. They're just not as set up as somebody that does bigger dirt projects, so. But they can handle the pipe, no sweat. We've got overflows. We actually put in the pipe to start with so that the slow water movement can get under the dam.
Keep moving.
Yeah,
Don't
keep it
back it
moving.
up.
There you go, yeah. And that'll have a valve on it to be able to shut it off. And that will allow it to be drained completely in the future if for some...
If you wanted to clean it or something.
Yeah, if 20 or 30 years from now they wanna do something with that, they can, so. Yeah, I'm anxious to see it done.
Gary, I see her sitting back in the form. Okay. Alrighty. Be good to get this project wrapped up.
Yes, yes.
What do we do if they don't bite on the June 15th?
We just reissue it with a different date. 2 minutes and, yeah.
Okay, I need a motion to accept this change order.
I would so move to accept this change order.
Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Dave, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, well, you can get this to them now and...
Yep, we'll get it out later today, hopefully. Yeah, get it in their hands, and they hopefully have heard back from their dirt subcontractor by then too, so.
Did we make any headway on the retainage that we have with them?
I checked back on that. I had forgotten, you paid that down already.
We paid complete, do we have like 11,000 left or what?
You actually have 35,000.
35,000.
You paid 60-some thousand
So
down.
we still have 35,000?
Yes. And one landowner that called me said, maybe we should hang on to some of that just as incentive to get them out there to do the pond.
Well, I don't have a problem with that, but I thought when we talked 2 weeks ago that it was over 40, and I just said that was, you know, if I did that kind of work, I'm not gonna haul grain for somebody and have them have 40,000 on the books. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So whatever they're comfortable with, but I don't wanna lose them as a
No.
as a contractor, 'cause I think they do good work too, so.
When I talked to him about the dam, he never even brought up the retainage again. So I believe when they reviewed that they'd already been paid down 65,000 on it, that they were okay with it. If I hear something different from him, I'll tell you, for sure.
Did you contact that guy from the DNR about that number I gave you, or we gave you? From the wells over there that we were gonna talk to try to set up a meeting with?
Oh, yeah, I've talked to him once, but he was looking at dollars yet. And that's one as far as closing one of them and how to go and if there was money and,
At least we're on
we're on the books with them.
We're on the books that we're
Yes.
discussing it?
Yep.
That's my concern.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, we don't wanna let that fall
Oh, no.
in the cracks, because when they pull it away, we
And
can say we talked to him on next, whatever date.
And I've met with the landowner twice on this and more recently, and I've warned him that the east lateral that he was hoping to tie into and that he got a small line tying into now, the state won't approve the upper parts of that are above where he'd hook in. So we're gonna have to weigh that, probably come in with two options and decide what to go.
But
which
that
way to
affects
go.
how many wells? Was it 8?
No, that one's just one.
Okay,
The other one is you're talking then the DNR one as far as wetlands.
right.
They're still looking at that.
All right, but you have contacted?
Yes,
All right.
yes,
As long as it, 'cause I don't wanna, we gotta figure out what we're gonna do with it.
Absolutely,
sometime.
absolutely. And I've talked to Al Brandhoy about looking at possible locations for observation points on their
On that
DD
site.
84. And he said if I call him today, we could probably meet. And I asked him to think about that here
Yeah.
2-3 weeks ago, places, 'cause he's familiar with that system more than anybody.
Yeah.
Well, if that was ever converted to wetlands, how far would Highway 3 go underwater? I mean, I think the state would be interested in,
Absolutely, yeah.
so that's why I just as soon keep
Keep some pressure
them
on.
involved in it and keep us up to speed is what we're doing.
Absolutely, you bet.
Okay, that's all I had with him. You all right?
Any
Can you
other
say
business
my
drainage?
Just wanna make note, and it says that drainage well closure, that I brought this up a while back, but it's Denny Wagner's, the one that's kinda by itself. Have obviously visited with Denny, and did have the opportunity this past week to visit with the person who oversees the ground directly south of that, which is the Lannis ground. And he was very interested, and I'm getting everybody kind of on the same page with who to contact, who to visit about, and try to kind of keep this moving forward, so they get good information about, probably in all fairness, it'll be a private type closure. So, pretty encouraged at this point of, they're just that one lone well, but it's a good thing.
Yeah.
So I'm
What
getting
is
that.
one less?
Well, you know, and, so trying to just mediate, as I always tell people, I'm not here to stick my nose in your business, because when you say private, you know, we're not the trustees of private, trustees of drainage districts. But trying to help them along.
Let them know what's available out there.
Yeah, and so I just mentioned that because that does relate to drainage, ag drainage, well closure, and, I'm very positive at this point. So I am getting information out there for them to speak back and forth and get some good information, and they can, and I offered, you know, obviously with help of the county to what degree, because it's, obviously, we need to get these wells going. And that one looks encouraging, so, just want to say I'm in the works and they're looking at it, so it'll be good.
Okay.
All right, well, looks like could possibly get a motion to go out of drainage.
I'll move.
Second?
First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
We are out of drainage, back in general session.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Rick.
Rick.
Anything,
Okay.
just give me a holler.
Get the
Maybe you should send them.
thing done.
Yeah.
You probably need to have it all before you leave, don't
Ooh.
you? Okay, so get to start going.
I love spring rolls. Yeah, I'll return.
Okay.
Thanks, Rick.
Guess you got copies of this, we wanna pass it around.
I think we all got those.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Okay.
I, heard on the radio the other day that, our Senator Kreinbrink, voted the other day to, well, the way I understood it, he jumped ship on the speed cam,
Oh, you did?
yeah. So I called, I was kinda curious, and he called me back, and we visited, and he had a, interesting, way that he explained it as far as, you know, those traffic cams down in just two that they got in Fort Dodge. He said that by those being able to use those, if you look at it, if it's a Fort Dodge policeman sitting there hiding, or not hiding, whatever, outside, that's a man doing, or a person doing that job. But that traffic cam, everybody knows it's there, and the ones that they pick up, at least the police person can be somewhere else doing other, and he said he kinda thinks that has a way of keeping people under control. Which I think,
Slows them down.
yeah, and I said, well, you know, we in Humboldt, we'd like to have that opportunity. And he says, there's a possibility that, you know, could happen.
I like the fact that it slows them down, I just don't like to get the bill when we drive.
Well, that was the issue, he said it's like a month later. Their billing is like a month later.
You know, when I go through Cedar Rapids now, I slow down. I didn't used to. It has a good effect. No, I didn't, but I've been warned about it. But, you know, I don't have a
My
problem.
pickup got a ticket down there one time.
In Cedar Rapids?
Yeah, I wasn't there, but my pickup got a ticket.
Well,
That's
Just gonna slow people down, I don't have a problem with it.
my daughters have failed to realize that it sits down there, because they've got 2 or 3, and it comes to the person's name that's on the title, which would be
Yeah.
the old man.
That's right.
You know, that works good for me, but still comes out of your pocket, 'cause, so,
Okay, well, we're back in general session. You have, I think we've gone through the whole list today.
The
You have
only
anything-
other
anything
thing,
else?
ordinance number 6 on the abandonment of dogs and, cats, I was working on some changes to that.
Oh, the wording on it?
Yeah, but putting cat in everywhere that there should be dog.
Put that on next week's agenda then?
Yeah, but I wanted you to look through it, is what I wanted to say, is just have you review it. I didn't put the plus 50 cents per mile in there because we're not actually saying that we're paying anybody on this, it's that, the fine portion of it.
Oh, okay.
So, and I changed anything that said public health department to the animal control officer. So I'll let you guys review it, I will put it on next week's agenda, and we'll
are we
do
still
something
adding,
with it one way or the other.
are ads still good for 1 more week?
Yes.
Okay.
And we did get one
One day at
in person.
You have it, yeah.
And that's all I have.
Okay, you have nothing else on the agenda for discussion?
I'd make a motion to adjourn.
Second. We got first and second to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.